first of all, I was sitting at the witness table there, and when that happened in the hearing, that was extremely unfortunate. I was shocked, actually. And this is not the way that the industry has responded with putting announcements in place, clear communications about the enforcement of those mask policies. Frankly, I worked with these people to put these mask policies in place well before the federal government did, in order to keep people safe and also to encourage confidence in air travel. Now, I want to correct the record, though, because I was in that hearing room and then asked about it. Doug Parker has corrected the record on this. They didn't try to walk it back. He absolutely didn't hear what Gary Kelly said about the masks. He was responding to the HEPA filtration, and if you listen to his answer, that's what that was about. So Doug Parker has made clear he didn't mean to make those make that connotation in any way. And Gary Kelly, after the hearing, came over and said that he was absolutely with me on the masks, and that I should not take that any other way. So I'm here to report that because it's really important that the public hear that everyone is on the same page with this. Flight attendants run into trouble when communication is not clear and not consistent. And you're right, that makes it a much more difficult job for us, who are the enforcers in the cabin, and then often taking the brunt of that conflict and sometimes violence.
I feel for the flight attendants. I've flown several times in the past few months because it's like suddenly they're substitute teachers in a bad middle school class. I mean, even as it is, there are several passengers that I've seen who are either not wearing masks or not wearing them correctly, and it seems like they're having to make a calculation. Do I risk my own safety by continuing to remind people about this mandate, or what? I mean, what's to be done here?
So there's a lot of danger in this that you are alluding to, because on an airplane, you can't just walk away from the problem. You can't call for additional help. You've got to deal with it right there. And when conflicts burst out, there's a lot of humanity crammed into a very small space, and things can get very heated and get very dangerous very quickly. So yes, we have to deal with de-escalation all the time. But when there is this constant fighting about this, what it does is it puts people in a position who are safety professionals and being hesitant about doing those safety responsibilities and giving people safety instructions. And that's not just on masks, it's all the things that keep people safe on an airplane. So that's a concern. It's also a concern, though, with these outbursts, that these are huge disruptions and distractions, and we are handing something to people who wish to do greater harm, another tool to use as a distraction that may make us miss a cue of a coordinated attack. So we have to get this under control.
Yeah. And Sarah, how is this going to affect labor relations within the industry going forward? Because this is an issue unlike any that I can recall seeing, where, you know, you've got video of flight attendants at risk. The job has been sort of politicized. I mean, I don't know if there are specific things that your members are asking for to help them to do their jobs going forward. But I imagine this could be an issue, yes, going forward with labor?
Yes. Well, look, I mean, first and foremost, what airlines had to do was negotiate with us incentives over the holidays. There are more flight attendants on the job now per airline flight hour than there were pre-pandemic. But people are not picking up those voluntary overtime hours that they were so regularly picking up before the pandemic. And that's why you saw some of the flight disruptions in the fall. So airlines are going to have to pay more, and that is one thing. But we also have to deal with the issue, too. We have to have clear communication. We have to have clear consequences. It's good that the DOJ is finally making this a priority and starting to prosecute. But until we get through that and people are landing in jail, we're not going to see that as a real deterrent. Wow. So we have to do other things. We also have to stop the to-go alcohol in the airports, because this is pushing alcohol, a major contributor to these events, and giving people the wrong idea that they can actually carry their own alcohol onto the plane, or that they should be drinking right up to the last minute before they fly.
I hear that, and I also hear implied that those CEOs might have caused a ding to their bottom line by making the flight attendant's job more difficult, not wanting to pick up shifts. Sarah, thank you.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.